a little later, the mystery really begins to unfold because he began to talk about his own life as a seed. And he said, except a corn of wheat fall into the ground and die, it abides alone. But if it falls into the ground and dies, it will bring forth fruit. Right? What was he speaking of? What was he speaking? The corn of wheat. Who is that? Jesus, isn't it? Because he was speaking of himself. I have to die, fall into the ground and die. He said he was the seed. Right? So except that corn of wheat fall into the ground and dies, it can't bring forth the fruit. So Jesus planted in the ground and dying for us becomes the genetic blueprint for something. What is it the genetic blueprint for? He said in his word, he said, he came to his own, and his own received him not. But as many as received him, to them gave he the power to become the sons of God. The power to become. So the whole thing was for the manifestation of the sons of God. For the remedy that the groaning creation seeks, he was the seed and the genetic blueprint for everybody born again sitting in this church. Hallelujah. Amen. Now, I don't really like Adam's DNA. I lost my hair, probably in my mid-30s, you know. I look in the mirror, and I look in the bathtub, you know, and you see all that, and I'm going, Adam's DNA. I don't like Adam's DNA. It got all messed up in that sin, right? Because the Bible says baldness is a curse. Can you believe that? Wow. Anyway, Adam's DNA got cursed in my lineage somewhere. I don't know how you get rid of that. Hey, if you find out, let me know, man. So Adam's DNA, from that DNA, we get birth defects. So we get children born without limbs. We get all this mess because the gene pool was messed up so bad by sin. And people say, how can God let a baby be born like that? God had nothing to do with that. Adam was the one that sinned, right? And because of the law of Genesis, generation after generation, there's defects. Generation after generation, there's infirmities. We shake our head and go, oh God, what a mess. What a mess. But Jesus was the answer. Now, what are we saying? You have a different DNA now. You still live in Adam's body, right? But in the Spirit, you received a new DNA. In the flesh, you're a son of Adam, but in the Spirit, you're a son of God. There was all these horizontal births in the one gene pool, but now there's a vertical birth that's perfect. And the Spirit is the mirror image of that seed. Hallelujah. How does a lion get to be a lion? Born by a lion. Right? So, you got a lion, two lions. I guess it takes two. They have, they do what lions do, and then there's a baby lion. Now, so the lion comes up, But all of a sudden, the parents get killed. And so the baby lion is orphaned. So just a little baby lion. Along comes a family of chihuahuas. Do you know what a chihuahua is? Yeah. It's those little Mexican dogs, aren't they, about that big? And they're scared of their own shadow. Oh, they're scared of their own shadow. So, they bark a lot, but they're not very big. They can't back anything up. Well, imagine a Chihuahua family adopting the lion cub and raising the lion cub to be a Chihuahua. Oh, that's how Mom acts. Oh, whoa! What was that? Oh, it was just a shadow. Oh, but that's how Chihuahuas act, right? But does that make the lion a Chihuahua? Why? It wasn't born a Chihuahua. It was born a lion. What do you suppose happened to the Chihuahua the first day the lion roared? Oh, he fell over dead of a heart attack. You're not a Chihuahua. The Lion of the tribe is the genetic blueprint for you, sir.
Amen.
Do you have to try to be a son of God?
No.
How did you become a son of God? Isn't it good? Isn't it good? Now, we can then take a look and see. I just want to tell you this first. Remember, we talked about God taking Adam after he formed him, breathed into his nostrils, and he became a living soul. Now, Jesus, after his resurrection, the Bible calls us a new creation. There's the first creation with all of its flaws and all that stuff. But there's a new creation that's perfect in that genetic seed. Wow. And then, I wonder if God breathed on that creation too. Did you ever read that? Turn to John 20, verse 22. Eight o'clock, Pastor. How much time do I have? How much time do I have, sir? It's 8 o'clock. How much time? At 8 we're finished. At 8 we're finished. Okay. All right. So what I got? 30 seconds. Okay. I'll read this fast. 8:30. Oh, 8:30. Thank you. John chapter 20, verse 22. Now, you have to realize that by this time Jesus was resurrected from the dead. By this time in the story. And he'd also been to heaven and he poured out his blood on the mercy seat. So the full price